Hello and welcome. This is Varun, Technical Advisor, Design and Prototyping and Educational Consultant for Tutomash.com. In this session, we will be discussing about annotations in AutoCAD. Dimensions are one among the main annotation parameters used in AutoCAD. Basically, there are 8 types of dimensions available in AutoCAD. Those are linear, aligned, angular, arc length, radius, diameter, ordinates, and jog. Defaultly, the dimension icon will automatically align the dimensions in your drawing, which are subdivided as given here. So now let's see these options in much more details in the software. You can find the dimension icon under the Home palette in Annotation tab, like this. So when you click this one, it's an automatic dimension. So that means if you come it near, it will be automatically showing you the length of this one, or the length of this one, or the radius of this one. So it is automatically toggling between radius, length, and etc. So if you want precise dimension, you can come over here and find this option linear. When you click on this drop down, you can find the other dimensions listed here, like this. The first one is linear dimension. When I go and click on this option, the linear dimension is activated. So that means you can get the linear length of any object like this. Correct. Similarly, when you come on here to here, you will get like this also. Correct. So that means linear will give you only the linear length. Logically, when you do the linear length description here, it will also show you the linear length only. It won't show you the aligned length. Similarly, when you come over here to show the linear length between these 2 points, it will be showing like this only. Correct. So that means if you want an aligned length, you have to change your linear to aligned option. So for that, let me click on this drop down option and go for the aligned option here. Now when you go and select this aligned line, it is now better to see that it's showing the aligned length of the line like this. Or we can say that this is the original length of the line given here rather than this one. And similarly, when I go for aligned length from here, it will give you the aligned line like this. Correct. You can also show the angular values also like this. You can select the 2 points where you want to show the angle. It will give you the angle between those 2 lines. Or else if you want the angular between these 2 lines, it's also very easy. You can select these 2 lines and it will show you the angular value. It's pretty interesting, right? Now similarly, if you want the arc length, there is an arc length option available here too. You can select this one, select the arc, and it will show you the arc length. Correct. Now if you want the radius, it will give you the radius of the circle like this. You can give the distance outwards wherever you want. If you want the diameter also, diameter is also available. You can give the diameter like this. So this diameter also seen here. Right. Now, the next option that we have is known as ordinate. Ordinate means it will give you the X or the Y ordinate available in an object. Consider I want to get the X coordinate of this point. So you can come and select this point, and in the inner commands, you can go for the X datum so that it will give you the X value defaultly. Similarly, if you want the Y datum, you can select the point here and go for the Y datum so that it will give you the Y like this. So that means you can get the XY coordinate of this point from the 0, 0 as dimension. Now, the next and the last dimension is jogged, which is available here. So before going for the dimension jogged, let us create an object. Consider I have a circle like this. Let it be somewhere like this. Let me create an arc starting from the quadrant like this, with the second point somewhere like this, and the third point somewhere like this. Correct. Let me create another line starting from here like this also, and trim off this part like this. Right. So in order to get the radius of this arc, it's very easy. You can come and select the radius option and select this one, and your radius is ready. Now consider this arc. You can get the radius of the arc like this also. But thinking logically, the radius of this arc is far outside of this object, like this. It is somewhere here. So it's very difficult to show the center point of this arc in the object. So for that, we use the jogged dimension. I'll go for the jogged option, select this arc. I will show the center point somewhere here. Now you can see it is showing a jogged radius. Correct. Now you can show anywhere you want to fix the radius like this. And you can show the jog location. Let it be here like this. Correct. So that means this arc is of radius 62.37 with the center point outside the object. So like that we use jogged dimension. So dimensions are really important while you annotate any objects in your drawing. It will give you the specific length, width, radius or whatever dimensions you need in your drawing. The next topic that we have to learn is called quick dimension. Quick dimension is one of the remarkable innovations that is made in AutoCAD. You can actually make the dimensions quickly in your drawing. It will help you automatically assign the length or the radius to various objects together. So let's see the quick dimension in the software. Consider I have various lines like this. Now, when you do the dimension here, we can go for the linear option and we have to go and select the end point, then next the end point like this, again start from the beginning to the end point like this. So it takes a bit time and it won't be much neat while you mark the length. Now, to overcome this problem, we have a remedy. That means we can make use of quick dimension. So for that, the command for quick dimension is QD and press enter. Now it is asking you to select the geometry to put dimension. So I will select this entire object or the geometry to put dimension and press enter. So now you can see that it's asking to specify the dimension line position. That means at what distance you want to show the dimension. So let it be somewhere here and you can see all the dimensions are marked together with equal alignment. Now consider some circles like this. You can also apply the quick dimension for these circles. So for that, let us type QD and press enter. I will select the entire objects and press enter. And now you can see that it is showing the space distance between the centers of the circle like this. You can do the same thing by selecting the circles and show the distance here also. So it will show you the distance like this as well as the distance like this also. Now what if I want to get the radius rather than getting the linear distance? There is a remedy too. For that, you can type QD again and press enter. This time I will select the same circles again and press enter, but still it is showing the linear dimension. Now if I want radius, there is an option called radius available in the command line. I can go and click on the radius and show the distance where we want the dimension line and the radius has been placed. Pretty nice, right? So like that, you can mark your dimension very fast in your drawing. Dimension style. Dimension style allows you to set a style to your dimension. That means sometimes when you do the dimension to your objects, your dimensions may be very small or very big. Your arrows or the lines may not match according to your concepts. So you can actually toggle with different parameters in the dimension style to make your dimension look better in your drawing. So for that, when you go for the dimension style, you will get the first window like Dimension Style Manager where all the dimensions will be listed here. As we have seen in text style, here also defaultly there are two dimension style. You can actually add new dimension style to your drawing. You can make each dimension style to be current. You can modify, that means you can change the values and append it. You can override, that means you are permanently changing it. You can compare between two dimension styles, checking what are the difference between the text height or any other parameters available. And last on the list, here is the preview of the dimension style, which will be showing you to see the difference between each dimension style. So normally we go for the modify option, which will give you to the next window, that is modify dimension style. So now as it is standard, it will be modifying the standard style. In the modify window, there are different tabs available to change the values. Lines means the dimension lines as well as the extension lines. So you can change between the dimension line styles, line weights, line color and spacing too. In fact, you can suppress the dimension lines as well as the extension lines too. You can make it extend beyond as well as offset from the origin too. Symbols and arrow will help you to change the styles of symbols and arrows as well as change the size of the respected object. Text, obviously we know that what type of text you need. You can change it from the text. You can increase the text size or you can apply the text styles here, the dimension. You can select the fit option, like how you want to fit the dimension in your drawing. You can go for the units. That means if you want to show decimal, you can give decimal, or else if you want feet and inches, you can toggle to feet and inches back. You can give an alternative units like this. That means it will give you an additional unit together with the primary unit, showing both together in your drawing. And the last one is tolerance, means you can add any tolerance value to your dimension, saying that the value can oscillate between a tolerance value given. So now let's see these options in the software. Consider this as a drawing. I will mark a linear length like this from here to here like this, and I will mark another aligned length from here to here like this. Correct. Then I will go for an angular value, which will show you the angular value between these 2 points like this. And again I will complete my linear length from here to here like this, and from here to here like this. Right. Now let's see what are the dimension style. To get the dimension style, we can go for the menu bar here and go for the format. In the format, you can find dimension style. When I click this, you will get the first window, that is the dimension style manager. As we have discussed, there are two types of dimension styles. First is annotative and standard. We will go and modify the standard dimension style, which is the active dimension style now. Now, this will bring about the modify dimension window. Here you have different tabs by which you can toggle between different values. All are not much essential while you are designing, but few you may have to change while you are drawing. I will show you few commands which are needed, and you can use the rest according to your need. The first one is dimension lines. Dimension line means the lines which shows the length or the angle or the radius denotes the dimension line, like this. So the first option in the dimension line is color. That means you can change to different colors of dimension line like this. Let me change to some other color called green. Correct. Now you can change the dimension line type to some other line type, say dotted or dashed according to your need. We have already discussed about line type in our previous videos. Similarly, you can change the line weight too, and you can suppress the baseline if you want. You can extend beyond the text. That means you can extend this dimension line beyond this line if you change the line type. Extend beyond text and baseline spacing are not much important, so you can change the value if you want, or else you can let it be the same itself. You can suppress the dimension lines if you want in any direction, or you can use the both. It's better to use both if you need. Now the next one is extension lines. Extension lines denotes the lines which extends from the object to the dimension line like this, or you can see it from here. You can change the color of the extension line, let it be red, it will be changed to red. Same as the line type, you can change the line type of the extension line and give the line weight also. You can give the suppression also if you want. You can extend the extension line from here, say it is 0.18, I will change it to 1, and you can see that it is extending towards 1. Let it be a small value, let it be 0.5, it will be much better. Correct. And there is an option called offset from the origin. That means there is a small gap, as you can see here. That gap denotes the value of 0.062. If you want to increase this gap, you can give the value. Let's say I will give the value of 0.1 here, so that the gap becomes like this and much more clear. Now, after doing the first setting, I will show you what happens here. Then we will go for the next steps. So making these settings, I will put OK and close, and you can see that it has already been changed. That means this is 0.1 and this is the value which we have given 0.5. Now let's move on to the next options which are available in the modify dimension. The next one is symbols and arrows. You can change the arrowheads according to your need. There are a lot of standards of arrows available in the list. You can select any of these for your drawing. For the time being, I will go for dot. It will be like this. Or you can change the second one also like this. So you can use dot and arrows together. So anything is possible. So let me come back to the arrows as well, because arrows is more better to use. The next is the leader option. That means you can change the arrowhead of a leader. And the next one is arrow size. Yes, you can increase the arrow size. As you can see here in this drawing, the arrow size is very small. So it's better to increase the arrow size for my drawing here. So for the time being, I will increase my arrow size from 0.18 to say 3, like this. Correct. Center marks, that means if you want to show any centers of your drawing, it will show you the center mark, or else if you want the line, it will show you the lines too. You can give the value of the size of the center mark. The next one is dimensional break, which we don't use much. If you want, you can use it. It is normally used to display and set the size of a dimensional break in your annotation. The next option is arc length symbol. That means the symbol is defaultly inserted in front of the length that is preceding dimension text. If you want to show the arc length symbol above the dimension, you can show the above dimension text option. And when you use the jogged dimension, you can give the angle according to the need. Now it is 45, you can change according to the value you wish. If it is linear jog dimension, the jog height factor also you can change it from here. Defaultly we don't change any of this, so you can just skip over and go for the next option. The next one is text. In the text you have a text appearance option where you have the text style. We have already discussed about the text style in our previous videos. Here you can change the text color, let it be cyan here, and you can give the fill color if you want to fill the text. You can give the height. Yes, height is very important. So you must remember that when you change the text style, it will also change the text height also, because you may have predefined any text height according to the text style you have done. So for the time being, I will change only the text height. Let it be 3 itself here. Correct. The next is the text placement. If you want to place the text in the center, you can give the centered, or any other values if you want, you can select it from here. Similarly, all others are the options which will help you to toggle between the text placement. The next one is text alignment. You want to align it horizontally or align with the dimensional line. You can put it according to that. So doing these changes, let me put OK and find out what we have done in our drawing. Let me press OK and close it, and you can see that yes, all the arrows and the text has become bigger. Correct. Now let me go back to the dimension style again, go for modify and continue with my settings. The next one is fit. Fit options means it will help you to align the objects according to the dimension fit. So that means it will automatically adjust the best fit option available for your drawing. So normally for the fit option, we use either text or arrows option, and for the text placement, we use beside the dimension lines. So we normally don't change these options, and we'll go for the next tab, that is primary units. As we know that we have discussed about the units, basically we toggle between decimal and architectural unit. So if your drawing is done in architectural and you are trying to do the dimension, it will only show in the decimal units. That's why, because the primary unit has been set to decimal. So if you want to see this in feet and inches, you have to change this to architectural. So now you can see that it is showing in feet and inches. Let me bring back to the decimal option here. There is an option called precision. So you can give the precision value to which decimal point you want to show the values. So you can change it from here. Correct. You can show the decimal separator if you want. You can give a round off value. Prefix or suffix. These are the options by which you can add any other additional symbols or values to your dimension. Now, logically thinking, when this option is in decimal, it won't show you whether the dimension is in centimeter or millimeter or meters. So we have to put those symbols manually as prefix or suffix as required. So for the timing, for the suffix, I will give it as mm. That means it will show a value of millimeter along with the dimension. Correct. Now, you can give a scale factor also. That means if you have actually drawn your values in meters and you are trying to show in mm, you can give a scale factor of 0.001. It will be showing in mm. Rest all, let it be unchanged. We will go for the next option, that is alternate unit. You can add an alternate unit to your primary unit. That means I have already shown a decimal unit here. Now if I want, I can show a feet and inches unit together to them. So I can take this option and change the unit format from decimal to architectural like this. So now you can see that along with the decimal value, it is also showing you the architectural value. Same, all other options are available here. Putting it this default value, I will press OK and close. So now you can see that it is showing decimal value as well as architectural value together. Here you can see that it is showing 36 degree mm. That is because we have given suffix. So if you want to show this degree separately, you have to create this angular dimension in a separate dimension style. Coming back to the dimension style again, for the last option, that is the tolerance. So that means if you have any tolerance value, you can add a tolerance to your dimension. There are different methods of adding tolerance. That is symmetrical. It will add a symmetrical tolerance to your dimension. For the time being, let me off my alternative unit from here and come to the tolerance. So the symmetrical dimension means the upper value and the lower value will be the same. So for the time being, I will put 0.5. And you can see that it will be showing plus or minus 0.5 mm. That means there is a tolerance of plus or minus. If you go for the next option, that is deviation, you have to give both upper and lower value separately. So say now you can give the lower value as 1. It will show you that the lower value is -1 and upper value is +5, which means that this dimension can increase with a tolerance value of 0.5 and decrease with a tolerance value of -1 in the real scenario. Putting it OK and close, as you can see that there is a tolerance value shown with each dimension. So like that, there are a lot of things that we can do in the dimension itself. The dimension will determine the completion of your drawing. So you must be very careful while you're denoting each dimensions in your design. So that's the end of this session, and we hope you understood well. Keep posting your queries and feedback, and for more videos, log on to www.tutormash.com. Thank you.